I'm Harry Mays, and an 0-3 team releases a player because of friction in the locker room, criticizing teammates, and not playing assignment football. And I'm supposed to be excited about reacquiring him?
I'm Jason Martinez. On bended knee, Lane Johnson, be available this week and never be unavailable again.
And I guess Kevin Patullo, it's his turn for the question. What is it you say you do here, really? All that and more on this edition of Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel.
You are Locked On Eagles Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Eagles Squad Show. The buttons got rearranged on me there for a second. Miss Scoozy, everybody. But don't forget, this is Locked On Eagles Squad Show. And don't forget also that you have your Locked On Crossover Thursday presented by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Marc Farzetta with you. In between the Eagles having a historic comeback against the LA Rams, bad beat for some, maybe even most, and taking on those dreaded Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that is, against Tampa Bay this coming weekend, obviously, where the Eagles try to improve to 4-0 to start the season. But, gentlemen, there is this question now revolving around Kevin Patullo and what is it he does as the offensive coordinator and play caller of the Philadelphia Eagles. There is that scene, I'm sure you guys talked about it on the postcast, where Jalen Hurts goes over to the bench and he's over here, he's talking to the wide receivers. Over here, he's talking to the offensive linemen. Over there, he's high-fiving and slapping defensive linemen on the butt, saying, go get him. And then the famous of the famous yelling at Kevin Patullo. Is that what he was doing, or was he just very animate about what he wanted the offense to do? It begs the question now, because if you remember last year, everything that was a good play was Kellen Moore. Everything that was a dumb play was Nick Sirianni. Jason, has Kevin Patullo now stepped into the role of bad ideas? That's all mine. Good ideas are all Jalen Hurts. Is that the way this season is going to go, or is that just how things are going to start out?
Far be it for me, or frankly you, Farzetta, to split hairs. Because we don't own them. Yes, but we are splitting hairs in this situation. Yeah, coaches, I love that coaches do this. They take ownership of all negativity they think they're taking it off their players. And fans aren't dumb. They know sometimes that players are at fault. But Kevin Patullo is a guy right now that's got a lot of spotlight on him, a lot of shine on him, because what we've seen so far has been kind of befuddling, if that's even a word.
It is a word.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a word, yes.
And you guys have all been befuddled by these games so far. And the usage in particular of the outside receivers going down the field. And maybe the usage to some degree of Saquon Barkley and when you're using him. So, it's been really bizarre so far the way he's called things, because, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out where the strengths are with this team. I don't need to be a football mensa and have been in football my entire life to know that I need to get A.J. Brown targets before late in the third quarter. Like, Harry, would you, if I said they got to get A.J. Brown the ball in the first half down the field and 50-50 balls, would you go, but he really knows his football?
Yeah, thanks, genius.
That's Captain Obvious.
I'd give you a Howard Eskin genius on that one.
Yeah, and a dope. I mean, come on. Like, that's not this isn't rocket science with him. No. And I don't know why. I think that sometimes guys that have been passed over many times and they finally get the chair, they try and outsmart everybody like they've got this secret sauce, that they're debuting for the first. Nobody has seen what I've been cooking up, why I got passed over. Sometimes doing the obvious is the smartest thing in the world, because that's where your strengths are.
Yeah, I got people coming up to me since Sunday night saying that they're convinced that Jalen Hurts went rogue in the second half.
I don't disagree.
decided to start throwing the ball to whom he thought he should throw the ball to, and screw the offensive coordinator and whatever his plays are. Like it's a rumor out there, but people are convinced that that's the only way it could have happened because they watched the previous other 8-10 quarters of football where you were just wondering, like, what in the world are they trying to do?
Yeah. That's a viable opinion, I think. That he went rogue.
Yeah,
he just said, "Nope, I'm just going to go win us the game. We got nothing to lose.
We keep doing this, we're losing this football game."
No doubt.
Yeah. I agree that it's not like outlandish to think that Jalen just said, "Okay, I got this, KP. I'll take care of this for now. Don't worry about it.
Have a seat.
Take a seat.
Take
grab
a
a knee.
Drop your headphones. I don't want anyone thinking you're calling plays right now."
Yeah.
Kevin Patullo's like, "Is this thing on?"
Right. I don't think it's outlandish to think. However, I don't think it's accurate. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's crazy to think it. But there's two things that happened recently. One was this. The other was Johan Duran in baseball with the Phillies. He came in a non-save situation in Washington, took a line drive off his foot and got hurt. And everyone's like, "It's not a safe situation. What is he even doing in there?" And I remember thinking, is this everybody's first day watching baseball? Like this you do sometimes.
Yeah.
In the second half of this game for the Eagles, they were down 19-7, and then a minute later into the second half,
26-7.
They were down 26-7.
Yeah.
Is it everybody's first day? When you're down like that in the second half, you're gonna throw the football. So that is not some like Jalen Hurts stepped in and he said we need to throw the football. Like, no, that's what you're going to do. Any 10-year-old that plays Madden knows that's what's going to happen in the second half. You're probably
why do you wait to be down 26-7 to throw the football is the question.
Right. I don't know. I mean, it's not like they just abandoned the passing game in the first half. It wasn't working. I mean, they were the touchdown drive after the ball interception and then 4 straight 3-and-outs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the
17
kneel
yards.
Down. Yeah, right. That was it. Yep.
They had a lot of bad field position, too, in that game, thanks to the kickoff guy, who was really good. He can't kick field goals high enough, but, man, can he ping you back there with a kickoff?
Yeah, he could boom a kickoff.
Your muffin kickoffs.
Right.
Left Tank Bigsby. Talk about guys, Tank. What are you even doing here? Him and John Mechie, who I know, Harry, you and I talked about. He's not a return guy. What's he doing back there?
I don't know.
But so going over the Jalen Hurts, is he calling plays or not, or if they're going to continue to pass the ball more than ever, whatever. For me, I don't think it was Jalen Hurts calling the plays per se, but I have zero doubt in my mind that Jalen Hurts went over to Kevin Patullo and like, look, they're going man-to-man. They're not going zone now. They're going man-to-man. Let's leave A.J. Brown alone. He'll beat his man one-on-one, and we'll be able to take advantage of that. Plus, if you notice, on that second possession, defensive possession there for the Rams in the second half after the fumble, they also brought in Fred Johnson, which another no-brainer move. I don't care where Matt Pryor was practicing throughout the week. Fred Johnson's the guy that filled in for Lane Johnson last year. He's right back in. You acquired him for a reason. So that was the other thing. And then I have no doubt that Jalen Hurts looked at the defense on their second possession or the first possession after the fumble in the second half and went, oh, wow. This is the most vanilla base 4-3 they're lining up in with man-to-man on the outside. Let's just keep exploiting that until they stop it. And then the fun part was they didn't. Yeah. They absolutely did not. You're putting together 13-play drives, 17-play drives. You're marching down the field with ease. And yes, mostly thanks to airing the football out. So I do think, and this was a request from, I think, me and a lot of other people in the offseason, is that I want the offensive coordinator and play caller for the Eagles to matter less than they ever have. Because I want Jalen Hurts to continue to take those steps in ownership of this offense. Last year it was, hey, you don't have Jason Kelsey. Can you take over for those responsibilities and shift in protection and not relying on Cam Jurgens? No problem. They won a Super Bowl. This year it's, hey, can you make sure this guy, Kevin Patullo, who, Jason, to your point, was passed over twice for the same position that he has now? Can you make sure that transitional period is, not as bumpy as it was the last time he went with somebody who had never called plays at the NFL level before, and Brian Johnson? Can you make that easy? And Jalen Hurts went out there in this second half, and I think he showed you just how easy, Jason, he could make it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only offensive coordinator that should have that has had less responsibility was whoever Peyton Manning's was.
Right.
Because
I had the same thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what was that job? That was like just holding a clipboard and checking off the plays that he decided to run.
Was it Tom Moore, that old guy?
I think it was.
The white-haired dude?
He was actually in retirement, Harry.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He was collecting his 401k while doing the job. That's how much it wasn't a job anymore. But no, you look at it, and I think you're right. I think that Jalen Hurts, I think he said it in the preseason. Like, he's looking to take more ownership, more of a role of guiding his team. And if he didn't guide his team and have the leadership he had last week, then they'd have lost the game. Mm-hmm. But he went out there, and there's another element to this that he took on, and that was the element of risk, because he was being a bit safe. But he went out there and said, we really have nothing to lose. Coming out of this game with no interception.
Except the game.
Yeah, the game's gone unless I do something pretty miraculous here and put the ball at risk and trust my guys. And he did that. Thank God he trusted his guys, because, if his idea was to come out with no interceptions again, no turning the ball over, we know the narratives around that and the numbers around that, then you would have lost. But he went out there and he said, threw all caution to the wind and just went out and said, let's chuck it up there. Let my guys make plays. Let's see if we can get momentum. And soon as they did, the Rams looked like a deer in the headlights. The fact that they didn't adjust their defense is remarkable to me. I don't know what goes on these sidelines, but these coaches get caught with their pants down. They can't make a change all of a sudden. Well, I told 70 phones down there, video boards and iPads, and they can't make a single change to try and get some better coverage on AJ. It's astounding to me.
I told you how vulnerable that secondary was for the Rams.
Going in, you said that, Harry.
You got a guy who's like 5'9.5", 160 pounds trying to cover AJ Brown.
Yeah,
he was the first-round pick of Washington a couple years ago, and they were just like, this guy ain't big enough. We got to get rid of him. And the Rams pick him up. They thought they got to find. Well, they found out what he can do on Sunday. He can't cover. Yes, he can't cover
anybody with
AJ
size.
Brown.
Yeah.
But how about the Bronx cheer the crowd's great. With 13:43 left in the third quarter, they throw it to AJ, and the Bronx cheer erupts from Lincoln Financial Field.
Well, they were already warmed up from booing him off the field at halftime.
I know, yeah. Well, 4 straight 3-and-outs will do that.
They earned it. They totally earned the boo off the field. And, what an amazing dichotomy of a game. It hasn't completely sunk in yet, like what we saw. 2 blocked field goals?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To win a game? Are you kidding? I was thinking, as the game's coming down to the final moments, this is so Eagles to come all the way back, get the lead, and then lose on a field goal after blocking one. But then they block the next one and go and run it in for a touchdown. I'm like,
now that would be bananas. This is so Eagles under Andy Reid.
Yeah,
this is a different
I'm
identity.
53. I still can't shed that.
This is a different identity. This team finds ways to win. Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, as opposed to the opposite way 10 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's when they were down 26-7. The thought I had was they keep on talking about we find ways to win. We find ways to win. I was like, I'd love to know what the roadmap is. Can you give me just a preview as everything is recalculating as to how you're going to get to the victory in this one? And there it was. They were going to have to throw the ball. And after the game, Jalen Hurts even said, we had to open it up. We had to throw it and all that stuff. And then yesterday when he was addressing the media and talked about, the question was, I think it was Tim McManus of ESPN asked the question about, hey, so when you watch the film, what did it show you about that second half and how things opened up and throwing the football? He's like, well, we had to. I was like, okay, good. Jalen gets it. And then he credited unsolicited. He wasn't asked anything about Kevin Patullo yesterday. He was just asked about what he saw on film in the second half against the Rams. And he said he credited Kevin Patullo for being able to make adjustments in the second half. Now,
stepping aside is an adjustment.
Right.
Wow, that's falling on the sword if I ever saw one.
Okay, right. Lip service, maybe, most likely. Lip service. I don't doubt that Kevin Patullo was still calling plays. I think Jalen Hurts really had heavy influence on what they were doing. And maybe at the line of scrimmage, which, by the way, is not different. Jalen Hurts has the authority to make changes and has done it plenty of times with great efficiency and effectiveness, by the way, change plays at the line of scrimmage. But the question after all of this, and I want to go back to the Jordan Davis thing in a second that you mentioned, Jason, but after all of this, Harry, Are the Eagles, given the struggles in the run game, now going to be more of a pass-first team going up against the Buccaneers this weekend?
I'm going to say no to that. I think they're going to stick with what they have been last season and what they started out being this season. I don't think this is any time, to abandon Saquon Barkley first.
Right.
You are 3-0. That is your
Yeah.
identity. You're also going up against the team that will probably be without their biggest weapon at wideout in Evans. Looks like he's going to miss the game, which is a real break for the Eagles. But like that, the thing with Lane Johnson though is amazing to me. Like when he goes out of the football game, they are a totally different. They look like they're neutered almost on offense. Like they just have nothing. It's bizarre. I mean, until they put Fred Johnson into that game, they couldn't do a thing. I mean, they got the ball in their own 20, 3 and out, own 19, 3 and out, own 9, 3 and out, and a 14, 3, 4 straight, and then the end of the half. And they're like, we got to put Fred Johnson in the game. Duh. Like,
yeah. It's like a Pee-wee team that has just like that one kid that just does everything for the team. He never leaves the field. The effect he has on it, Lane Johnson's like that guy. It's amazing
crazy.
For a right guard,
right tackle,
or right tackle rather, to have the impact that he has.
They put a right guard in for him, and he couldn't do the job.
It's
Go
funny.
figure. He's on his fifth team in 5 years. Oh, go figure. No way. He couldn't do it.
It's funny. Last year when the Eagles played Tampa Bay last year, they'll probably be without Mike Evans this week. The Eagles were without both A.J. Brown and Dante Smith. So, I mean, I guess fair play.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys remember who the leading wide receiver was? This is a fun one. I was going to ask you this later, but it's perfect now. Do you remember who the leading wide receiver was against the Buccaneers last year? Leading wide receiver, not leading receiver. Leading wide receiver last year.
Campbell?
Paris Campbell was your leading wide receiver last year. Dallas Goedert led you in receiving yards, I believe.
That's a hell of a pull, Jason.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember he was on the team.
Yeah. Paris Campbell. I remember last year, I remember talking about him in our post game. We're like, who's this? Paris Campbell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Crazy.
But he was so now this time around, you're going to have both guys. And Jason, to your point, the Bronx cheer that the crowd gave, A.J. Brown heard it. A.J. Brown acknowledged it after the game. And then I forgot about this. And I think this is kind of like giving yourself your own nickname. But if you remember, A.J. Brown in the offseason did that video where he named a couple of receivers who, like Cooper DeJean. Everyone's like, Coop. Everyone does that when he makes a play. He's like, I need something that people say to me, like when I make a play, when I make a catch. And he's like, can everyone just say, Ayo, Ayo?
That's pretty good.
And then he said, well, it's got to be organic, no?
Yeah, he can't decide. It's like calling yourself T-Bone, like George.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
T-Bone.
Not a T-Bone,
T-Bone. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was hokey, but whatever gets him into it. If the crowd's into it, who am I to say? But
I like that. I do like that, though. Like,
what do you like, Ayo?
But the problem is we'd never hear it until the third quarter. Like, I want to hear Ayo in the first quarter on the first drive. Him go for 47 to the opponent 33. I want to hear it. Ayo, something like that. That'd be great. We need to get somebody like behind that, like a groundswell. But it is not organic because he suggested it.
Yeah,
right.
So now it's ruined.
He got away with a Michael Irvin push-off on that third touchdown, too. You remember that one?
Yes.
It was Michael Irvin-esque.
Yeah, because Irvin always pushed off low.
Blankenship tried to sell it on the Devontae Adams touchdown. He tried to sell one, and then Forbes really tried. I think if Forbes would have reacted less, he actually would have gotten the call.
You think so?
Oh, he was like a soccer player.
Well, he's like true. He is like a rag doll out there when you're going up against a guy like A.J. Brown.
This might be one of my favorite quotes of the A.J. Brown era. He's asked before this last week going into the game. He's asked in his locker, Emmanuel Forbes, you've had a lot of success against him in your career. What do you think about playing Emmanuel Forbes? And he goes, honestly, he's the least of my worries right now. And I don't mean that in a bad way to him. We just got to get other things figured out. And I'm like, damn, I know he's trying to be nice. but he's not even thinking about it.
No.
It's not even registering to him. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm playing that guy that I torch every time I play him.
He's like he's a gnat. He's like a little gnat. You like swat around, you know.
But Fars, you've watched a hell of a lot of football too. How many times have you seen when other teams have to settle for field goals time and time again that it comes back to bite them in the NFL?
I mean, millions of times.
Yeah,
millions of times it feels like, because what they're taking so much time to do. They could put it this way: they have 2 successful drives and they get 6 points. You have 1 successful drive, you get 7. Like that's it. Just it's going to balance out.
Bad math.
At some point. Right. Exactly. Right, exactly. That doesn't seem like it works out for me in the end. Yeah. But that's exactly what they did. Now, as far as the run to pass thing here, Jason, for me, I think they also stay as a run first team. I think one of the reasons they're struggling right now is I don't think their offensive line is healthy. Even before Lane Johnson had the stinger. Like, you can't tell me Landon Dickerson is playing at the level that he was playing at last year. You can't tell me Cam Jurgens is playing at the level that he was last year. And it's not just all of a sudden they dropped. I don't believe they're 100% to start things off. And you look at the first 3 games this season, and, spoiler, it's only going to get worse now with Todd Bowles. These teams are blitzing Jalen Hurts and this offense at an alarming rate compared to what they saw last year, because they're figuring if we send 0 blitz, we can have Saquon Barkley run into us at the line of scrimmage or a yard or 2 deep, or we get Jalen Hurts. We get Jalen Hurts off his mark. So it's a win-win in that regard. So I think you're seeing not all 0 blitzes, but you're certainly seeing Jalen Hurts blitz more and more because they're figuring they're going to run into the run, or they're going to make Jalen Hurts make a mistake. That's not going to let up against Todd Bowles, unfortunately.
And that's what scares me about this week. You nailed it on the head. It is the Todd Bowles Patullo factor this week. and look, they got home on Jalen Hurts a few times last week. It's a heavy.
Yeah. McCullough popped him.
Destroyed him, right?
Yeah.
Barkley just decided to chip on the outside and didn't pick up the inside blitz, and boom, and he got leveled. I was surprised he hung on to the ball. But that's where you need an offensive coordinator to recognize what the league trend is against you and to make your adjustment to it. 3-step drops, get it out, get it to Barkley in the flank, in the flat, get him in space. Same thing, quick hits to your receivers and crossing patterns. Do those kind of things to back them off a little bit. And then if you back them off, now you get a little time to drop back. Now you can go deep. Now you can play action. Now you can run Barkley on a delay. Now you got options instead of just running Barkley right into the pressure, right into the blitz like you're talking about. But the question is do we have any faith that Kevin Patullo is going to do that?
No.
Exactly.
No.
I don't.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
So that's the question really going into this battle of 3-0 teams this week. It's Todd Bowles' aggression versus Kevin Patullo's, I don't know why.
There may be some banged up guys on that O-line in addition to Lane Johnson. I'll give you that. I think Dickerson's back is bothering him. Yep. I don't know what Jurgens' deal is. But when you have all that talent, they're on the field, okay? So they're still pretty good. Even a 65% Landon Dickerson is pretty darn good at left guard. But when you have all that other talent on that offense and the same quarterback who keeps getting in better and better and better each year, and you have 22 plays for 23 yards in the first half, I don't think you have an offensive coordinator.
No. Not one that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that would certainly be evidence to that idea.
Because nobody's making the Rams out to be the 85 Bears, okay?
Not defensively.
Like they have a pretty good front, but they're not a great defense.
But sometimes you can use that front against a team too. You know what I mean? A team that's going to be really heavy in the blitz, you can use that against them if you just scheme it correctly. Mm-hmm. Throw a floater over the top because they have so much moving up to the line that you got to find a way to be able to exploit that. And there's been no he likes vanilla ice cream. Yeah. I mean, he is a vanilla ice cream dude.
I like vanilla too.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I love vanilla.
You like some sprinkles on it, Harry. He doesn't even like sprinkles.
I go rogue every once in a while. Yeah,
Jimmy.
I like vanilla, but I like sprinkles. I like sprinkle. Yeah. I feel like you get judged when you say you like vanilla. I like people that like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you're good.
I always like the
good.
Breyers. Breyers vanilla with the little bean in it. The
vanilla bean, Harry. So that's a different story. That's not vanilla. That's vanilla bean.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's the exotic of all the vanillas. The most
that's
exotic.
the vanilla for aristocrats.
That's right. Yeah, that's vanilla bean. All right.
All right. Let's take
an aristocrat.
All right. When we come back, an aristocrat. Yes. All right. When we come back, we'll define. I think we already defined a lot of Patullo's role, but I want to talk about one thing that might actually help Kevin Patullo in this offense when we come back, going up against this Buccaneers team, and then also we're going to get a little bit more into the injuries. One thing Vic Fangio has to do, I want to make sure we get this in the show as well, that he didn't do in the meeting against the Buccaneers last time out there before the big change of last season. All right, like and subscribe, Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. And right now, let me tell you about FanDuel and how incredible FanDuel is. Make sure you guys visit FanDuel.com and download the FanDuel app to get started. And right now, if you're a new customer, you could bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. However, I like to bet player props, building same-game parlays, or even jumping in as live action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. Quick, easy, and the best way to add a little bit more energy and excitement to your game days. So you're ready to play? Download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. And if it hits for a new customer on FanDuel, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So visit FanDuel.com to get started and download the FanDuel app at FanDuel.com. One thing with Kevin Patullo and facing these blitzes. Matt Eberflus trying to blitz. Steve Spagnuolo, holy pots and pans, trying to blitz. Did blitz quite often. The 15-0 blitzes, as a matter of fact. Is it Mike Shula, the defensive coordinator? It's one of the Shulas there for the Rams. So. I can't remember. Yeah. Okay. He was blitzing. They had to find a way to beat it. A lot of quick routes, especially in that first half. Unfortunately, it wasn't working. Does the 3 previous games help at all or make you more concerned about Kevin Patullo and the offense adjusting to how much they're going to have the blitz in their face facing Todd Bowles again this time around, Harry?
Yeah, nothing right now gives me any confidence in Kevin Patullo. Okay, gotcha. I was waiting to see, we talked about this prior to the Rams game. I was really curious to see, what he was going to do and try to attack the Rams secondary. We didn't see it until quarter 3 where they had their backs pinned against the wall and are staring a home loss square in the face. So I have no confidence in him right now. None.
Any confidence booster for you, Jason?
Well, look, I think this show is turning into a little bit of are we 0-3 or are we 3-0? The question here, you know what I mean?
We're 3-0, but I don't like how we're 3-0. No, yeah. But I mean, we're focusing on the lightning rod conversation is whether or not Kevin Patullo is going to cost this team down the line.
He hasn't yet, and they've played some pretty good teams, Dallas, whatever. But you got 2 other wins that are pretty darn good. They were averaging 25.7 points a game.
They forced a fumble on Sanders. They got Selleck to bobble a ball and intercepted it at the goal line.
Yeah,
and then they got 2 blocked field goals. This had nothing to do with Kevin Patullo.
No, but think about the amount of touchdowns that Jalen Hurts has already. He hasn't turned the ball over.
He can do that on his own by drawing up a play in the dirt.
Well, I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns last week and ran for another.
Yeah.
Like, right. I think we're getting a little carried away with. I mean, I'm concerned. Kevin Patullo is a problem, and this week against Todd Bowles, I am nervous about it for sure. The question is does Todd Bowles go, yeah, these other teams have done this to the Eagles, but they have all come out on the losing side. Like that's the thing. You look for a blueprint. You look for a blueprint not just to like slow an offense down. You look for a blueprint to win a game. What Todd Bowles needs to worry about is getting touchdowns and not field goals.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's the fact of the matter here because the Eagles are 3-0. They're still the class of the NFL. They don't lead the league in yards. They're probably middle of middle of the NFL in total yards per game. Saquon Barkley has not busted loose and been, this player in the second half that's got 270-yard runs for $140.
He has no home runs yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have a home run. He's got a couple of doubles.
Yeah.
Swinging doubles, but they don't have those things happening so far. AJ Brown's been a minimal factor so far, yet they're 3-0. So I don't know how exactly you plan for the Eagles, because what they shown last week in the second half, here's what Todd Bowles needs to worry about. What they showed last week in the second half, was that an epiphany? Was that an awakening for the Eagles? Because if it is, then he's got to worry about the elements that they showed last year, and he's got to worry about that ability they have now to chuck the ball down the field when they really need to. Because here's the thing. The Rams knew exactly what they were doing. They did. They were down 26-7. It wasn't like they're going to go 3 yards in a pile of dust. This is obvious. They're chucking the ball, and they got to chuck it down the field. They're down huge. They did, and they were successful at it. So if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm a little more nervous than, not because of Kevin Patullo, but because of Jalen Hurts. I'm nervous, and I am nervous about Saquon Barkley still, because he hasn't hit a home run, and he's like Sammy Sosa. He don't go that long without hitting a home run. Eventually, Sosa gets a hold of one.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went Sosa. Should have went Aaron Judge or somebody like
No,
that.
it's okay. That's
The
current
dumper.
enough.
I mean,
That's
even
current.
Pat
The big
Burrow
dumper.
is due for
The
a
big
home run
dumper.
every once in a while.
The big dumper's got 60 now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
after last night, that's pretty.
Crazy.
I mean, don't get me started on that, man. They'll put the quarter in that machine, but Lord, there's like 550 home run hitters this year.
Ball's juiced.
I know, right? As far as Jalen Hurts goes against Todd Bowles, I have a good feeling about this game. I just ultimately think the Eagles are the better football team, and I think their offensive line, whether it's Fred Johnson or Lane Johnson, I think the Eagles finally found a decent backup to Lane Johnson, because without him, they have fallen apart.
Yeah.
But last year, if you remember, they had that really tight game down the line there against the Saints. And with that offensive line, Jalen in this offense was able to come back and get in this game. A.J. Brown wasn't playing in that game either. It was Devontae Smith. The next week was the Buccaneers game where the Eagles got their tails handed to them, unfortunately. Jason, you mentioned the turnovers. That was the last game that really turnovers were a concern.
For the offense. For the
offense,
Eagles offense.
Yeah, for the Eagles offense. Exactly, because Levante David got Jalen Hurts in that phone booth. Jalen Hurts originally sidestepped the blitz, and Levante David gathered and then just knocked the ball out of his hands. That was the last time we were really concerned about Jalen Hurts. Ever since then, he really went on this great stretch of not turning the football over. Unfortunately, Matt Pryor allowed that blitz at the start of the second half for Jared Verse, and he knocked the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hand for the second big hit on Hurts in that game.
It took that for them to go to Fred Johnson. Think about that.
Is Jalen Hurts still alive? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we'll change our right tackle.
Yeah.
So
Here, let me give you some numbers real quick, because I just asked Grok about Lane Johnson. This is incredible. Recent data from Lane Johnson started in 2013, so 12 seasons.
He was the fourth pick in the draft that year.
They are 91, 39, and 1 with Lane Johnson in the lineup.
91, 39, and 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Without him, they're 12 and 23.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It is
associate
insane.
producer Grok.
Yeah. What's this you talking to Grok?
That's including the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
12, 24, and 1, or what?
Without him?
Yeah.
Without him, no, I got to go back up, Harry. 12 and 23 without him.
12, 23.
91, 39, and 1 with him.
Man, that's incredible.
That is insane for a
right tackle. Yeah.
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 I mean, you would look at that stat and look at a quarterback and be like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but about a tackle, wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's bonkers. All right, let's flip it over on the defensive side then, Jason. To your point about Kevin Patullo, okay, that horse is it's just taking its beating. But when it comes to Vic Fangio, if I just ask you guys generally, what's one thing from last year's meeting against the Buccaneers that jumps out to your mind? Like, what's one of the things that just jumps to the forefront of that game against the Bucs last year and what the defense was doing. I know this stuck in a lot of people's crawls after the game. And Vic Fangio was actually asked about, is there anything defensively that you remember from that game?
They spread the ball around quite a bit, if I recall. The only thing I remember post-game, was this the one where Nick Sirianni had his kid on his lap?
No, that was the next game against the Browns. That was the yelling incident on the sideline with the fans.
Okay.
That was against the Browns. That was home after the bye week.
Okay.
There were 10 yards of cushion, 7 yards of cushion between your defensive backs and your receivers in this game. And Baker Mayfield sat back there. I mean, sat back there is even, that makes it seem too long. Baker Mayfield got rid of the football at like an astounding 1.7.
I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
I think 1.7 was the average release time from snap to release. And still continuously 7 yards of cushion, 7 yards of not one press
No adjustment.
No adjustment whatsoever from Vic Fangio. Then after the game, remember, it was going into the bye week. They still do their coordinator press conferences. And Vic Fangio was asked about, hey, was there any thought to maybe going up on the line of scrimmage, little jam cover, get on the line there? And he said, generally I leave that up to my defensive backs. I leave that up. And I'm like, if you're getting carved up with short passes, which, by the way, also one of the big changes of last year, too, was you were actually tackling after the bye week. I know we've talked about Cooper DeJean. We've talked about Saquon Barkley, committed to the run, less turnovers. But they were also – their tackling after the bye week was dramatically
Light years better. Yeah.
Light years better.
Yeah.
So you have these short yardage plays at the line of scrimmage where their receivers have all the room in the world, and Baker Mayfield's not getting a whiff of pressure because the ball's already out of his hands.
Right.
And you're dinking and dunking down the field, and then the big plays are missed tackle. Vontae Maddox missed a tackle. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson missed a tackle. Darius Slay, I think, as well. You were just getting down the field with ease and no pressure. And then after that, I noticed more of what I assumed to be a conscious effort of getting up the line of scrimmage, having less cushion. If the quarterback was getting rid of the ball faster, I think was it Jameis Winston they faced against the Browns? I noticed they were more up on the line of scrimmage for that game, and then a lot more as the season went on. But they have to, Vic Fangio, if there's one thing Vic Fangio has to do in this game, Jason, it's making sure that Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, whoever the other guy is going to be.
Well, Ja'Cory Bennett's out.
Ja'Cory Bennett's
on
out.
IR. Yeah.
On IR.
It might be Keely Ringo. This might be Luigi's game.
Maybe that's why Luigi's not here.
This could be it.
He's organizing the parade route.
By default, they got to go to Keely Ringo.
Yeah. Howie came up with a phantom injury for Ja'Cory and Bennett.
Yeah.
So that's the one ask I have of Vic Fangio. I don't need another blitz crazy game like they had, which I'll take, by the way, like they had against the Chiefs. But if I could get a little bit of that press coverage on the outside, I'm all for it.
Well, without Evans, I mean, obviously that's a huge element. I mean, last year they had Evans. He was big in the game, as he always is. And Godwin, too, I think had a really good game against the Eagles last year. Chris Godwin, the Penn Stater. So if they don't have Evans, I mean, that just significantly decreases Baker Mayfield's ability to dictate the terms offensively. So, if he's not in the game, where are you putting Quinyon Mitchell?
Yeah, but they got the rookie from Ohio State.
Yeah.
The Emeka Egbuka, man. He's a stud, too.
Yeah.
Don't
you see that catch he had last week against the Jets?
He's a star, man.
But if everybody's knocked out a peg because Mike Evans isn't there, you all of a sudden feel a little better.
Yeah, that's a big loss. That guy's a Hall of Famer.
Big one.
It is. It is.
So yeah, it's definitely concerning to say the absolute least.
But to your point, Mark, it's this. It's that's what they did last year against the Eagles, and Baker Mayfield had success doing it. So remember that he was getting the ball out quick. So you can't just give a cushion because they did beat up the Eagles. They put up 33 points against the Eagles last year, and Baker Mayfield had his way throwing the ball 47 times, 30 completions, I think, and boom, he's getting the ball out quick. So yeah, you got to have some press coverage.
Yep. I'm with you there. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. I know there's a couple of reports out there denying this, but it is possible the Eagles, well, possible. It's he's available to the Eagles, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, despite that 4-game rule. We'll talk about that when we return, whether or not you want him back, whether or not you take him back. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about whether or not the Eagles do have what it takes to win this game against the Bucs and how key the injuries are that the Eagles unfortunately have suffered. We'll talk about that and more when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. And right now I'm going to tell you about the Gametime app. Want to go to the game? Want to go to the concert? Want to go to the comedy show? Gametime app has you covered. Here's what you got to do. You got to download the app. You got to create an account. You got to use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase on the Gametime app. NFL is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans, cheering on your team, cheering on Jordan Davis, returning a blocked field goal for a tutty, a thick 6, as they call it. Well, Gametime can put you right there in the action. Gametime guarantee, by the way. You'll also get 100% authentic tickets delivered every time at the best possible price. Plus, all the fees are included. So what you see as the price, how about this? It actually is the price. No sticker shock at the end. It's like, what is it, a $20 convenience fee? That's wildly inconvenient. Not with the Gametime app. Makes everything right up front so you know exactly what you're paying before you pay it. The app makes it super simple. So download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, use promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off your first purchase. For the Gametime app, all you got to do is swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download the Gametime app today. That's the Gametime app. So, Harry, I'm looking at it like this. This Philadelphia Eagles team going against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously a lot of bad juju. But there's somebody that makes everybody feel a lot better about this Philadelphia Eagles secondary, and that guy's name is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Now, there was I don't want to call it a report, but a highlight of the CBA, I think it was, NFL rules, whatever it was, saying that because he hadn't played in 4 games yet for the Texans, and was released, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson still is not available to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, that just doesn't sound right to me. So, like, if this guy's livelihood is playing in the NFL and nobody wants him, the Eagles can't take him back? Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
so Adam Schefter, go ahead.
If nobody wants him, why would you want him then, if that was the case?
Because you go to the Super Bowl whenever he's on your team. You know what I mean? It's a very specific thing.
Okay.
Somebody compared it for me the other day. They were a commenter on one of my other show. Said it's like Nick Foles. He's only good here.
Well, maybe.
And I'm like, all right, I'll take that. Fine. You know,
yeah,
some
maybe.
Really weird
apparently, he was
comparison.
requesting a trade 3 weeks in from Houston. And was going after players in the locker room, was a problem in the locker room, and the head coach just made the decision, we're a better team without him. I have to do this for the team. He's got to go.
And DeMeco Ryans knows leadership. I mean, DeMeco Ryans really helped keep the Eagles together during, if you want to call that together, but helped keep the Eagles together during the Chip Kelly fiascos of years past.
But to your point, though, maybe this is the kind of locker room that he needs and the only place where he could sort of flourish and sort of just blend in and not be a problem. Maybe it is a situation like that. And if that is the case, you know, we'll see. I saw something where the Jets, Chiefs, and Cowboys could be landing spots for him. You know, he's going to get picked up. I mean, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's not. It's not going to be. He's not going to be jobless for long.
No.
Let's all be the GM for a second, Harry. I'll ask you first. Would you pick Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back up?
No, I'll pass this time.
You're passing this time. Why are you passing this time?
Well, just because I think I've got a young safety in Makuba that I'm, bringing up. He's going to be my guy. Him and Blankenship. I think I'm good at safety. I don't need to bring this guy in here as a depth guy.
Gotcha. Okay, Jason, would you bring back CJGJ?
No, I wouldn't either, unless I had a need all of a sudden and Makuba was hurt. But I don't have that need right now. And a guy that is a little dicey when it comes to the room, I got to be careful, especially if he's not playing, he's not starting. Those guys get really kind of volatile when they're not playing and contributing. And I can't have any distraction or noise from a guy that I don't necessarily need. So, no, I have to take a hard pass this time.
And he's a Gator, too. That's probably why Howie liked him in the first place.
He does love going down there.
He loves
going down in the swamp.
That's where he went.
Yeah,
hand
in the dirt.
Yep.
Yeah. Howie and him are from the same neighborhood. They grew up across from each other.
So I'll take a pass on him just because I don't need the volatility.
Gotcha.
Where's the upside to it? Again, if I had a need and Makuba looked shaky or hasn't been able to stay healthy through the first 3 games, then I start thinking differently, like an insurance plan. But right now I don't see it.
Yeah, I do it in a heartbeat.
Just for the storyline?
No, not even just for. I mean, that'd be fun for you and I.
He thinks he's the good luck charm to go back to another Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, guys here, no Super Bowl. Guys here, 2 Super Bowls. Guys not here, no Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not an analytics guy, but this just seems to add up to make perfect sense. So hell yeah, I bring it back. Now here's the other thing. I'm one Drew Makuba injury away, and injuries unfortunately have kind of been a thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
From Sidney Brown getting more reps, and I know everyone still loves Sidney Brown.
He gets hurt too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think you need depth at that spot. Okay. Plus, the other thing is, look, I like CJ Stroud and I like DeMeco Ryans, and I like the Texans. Okay, I like their team, but they're not winning a Super Bowl this year.
They're 0-3. And they haven't given up more than 20 points in any of their games, so they're 0-3.
Can't score.
And they just got rid of their starting set. That's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, it works here because he's the Nick Foles, right, guys? Anyway, but in all seriousness, I like the depth that it brings, and I also think this team, even if he comes back, would still be established enough with veteran leadership where it's going to be like, dude, you're not going to pull that.
We're not putting up with your crap. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to win, look, you were great. You were a big part of this, but we got some other things going on now. You're going to help us win again. Just, keep your head down and do your thing. Now, the other question is whether
can he keep his head down though? Come on.
Well, I mean, he did it in Detroit. You didn't hear boo from him when he was in Detroit.
He was in
Detroit. I guess that was more the and he had another chance to win there too. I mean, they were good, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do it because your safety depth even right now is not great. And I'd like to have that depth back, even if it means, paying a couple of extra dollars to bring in somebody that can work in the system. But okay, that's what I would do. That's what you guys would do. Do you think that Howie Roseman is actually kicking the tires? I'll go first. No, he's not. Harry, what do you think?
Well, it didn't sound like the coach was giving any inclination that they were interested in him. So, I doubt it. I don't think they do it for a third time.
Yeah, I don't think they're definitely not going to play their cards publicly.
No, but initially, kind of, Howie can lie to you.
Yeah, and he can do it the best of them.
GMs are supposed to lie.
Yeah, and he went to GM school. And graduated summa cum laude or whatever it's called, valedictorian.
I wouldn't know
something that Jason knows nothing about.
Pronounce. I just know it's Latin. But no, I don't think he does it this time either. I think Howie's more worried about dealing with Keely Ringo or Jacorian Bennett or that situation than he is the safety situation.
Well, I mean, you got the Dory Jackson.
Who can't lie?
Who?
Oh, go ahead. Who else you got?
Well, I mean, you got a Dory Jackson and Jacorian Bennett, both hurt. One's on IR. I mean, you're kind of running out of guys. It's where's that Keely guy?
Right. Can we dust him off?
Coordinator. Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
They should have a meeting and just say, "Hey, Vic, we'd like to introduce you to Keely Ringo."
Yeah. He was a draft pick of ours a few years ago.
Yeah, he may be able to help. And Vic goes, "Who?"
Well, speaking of Vic, you know who can't lie? Vic Fangio.
No, not good at it.
Let's not forget what ruffled the feathers of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson after he was released, and it was the press conference where Vic Fangio just dismissed him.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that it was a cap hit. I'm sorry to see him go. Hell of a player, liked him on our team, but this is the business side of things. That's not crazy.
No,
I could see anybody, even the
We've
most
heard that
old
before.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
Vic Fangio. What did he say? That was a cap move. I was fine with it.
I was fine with it. The dismissal.
I was fine with it.
Yeah, I was fine with it.
Matter of fact, I suggested it. They asked me who I could do without, and He was number one.
He was the first guy on the list. I was like,
Yeah.
no way, this guy, not a chance.
Like old school Italian coach guys like that, crusty coach guys,
Yeah.
no ability to lie anymore.
They don't care.
Come on. He's
No,
used
they-
up
no.
all of his lying
Yeah.
ability. He does not
Yeah.
care. He's not there to win anybody over or anything
Right.
like that. I'm here to do a job.
He knows this is his last stop.
Yeah, and,
You
and
know,
he's
it's
good
like-
with it.
Yeah.
He's
By the way-
as they call at peace.
right.
So they're
But,
playing over in Dublin, right? They're going over to play in Dublin.
Ah, jeez.
The Steelers and the
Steelers?
Vikings are. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going over to play in Ireland, right?
Right.
This just makes me think more, guys. Like, what's the NFL doing? Where is our NFL game in Rome?
Well, yeah, we talked
We
about
got-
that a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's right
Yeah.
there for the taking. I look forward to watching the Italians run around like, oh, yeah, we don't care about this, but it's a party, so we're here. Like, that's what it would be. But
If they had a game in
Just saying
Italy
it's
anywhere,
Yeah.
Siciliano, anywhere, Napoletan, they had a game anywhere, and the Eagles were not involved,
Mm.
there would be such outrage amongst the many Paisan Eagle reporters and content specialists.
Jason learned all he knows about Italians
Sopranos.
from The Sopranos.
And
historically accurate. Yeah.
well, like when Paulie with Gautieri would say, I got to go to the Pichadu. No, but from Sao Paulo down, the freak out would be on.
You would
That
hear
Eagles
a simultaneous from South Philly if there was an Italian game in Italy and the Eagles were playing in it. It would like from like Washington down. You just hear
I mean, if they do that in Italy, and I think they should, you got to take the Eagles as one of the two teams.
There's no doubt.
It's rude
have
not
to.
to.
Yes.
Like I told you, I was at this restaurant once in Rome, and the guy said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Philadelphia." He said two things to me. He said, "Rocky Balboa a Marco Bellinelli." That's what he said. I swear to God.
Marco Bellinelli.
Marco Bellinelli. That turns out the waiter, the guy that he played high school basketball with Marco Bellinelli.
Wow.
The thing is, too, you look at it, and if the Eagles went over there, it would be epic. Like the fan base would try. Like, kidding me? You go to the Italian market on that Thursday, it'd be empty. Every one of those stands would just be empty. They'd all be over there, and it would just be incredible for them to go and play over in Italy. I think that would be awesome if they did it.
But seriously, though, Vic Fangio's unit is taking on some injuries, man. They're getting a little banged up here. And Nolan Smith now to IR.
Thank you, Harry.
We talked about Ja'Cory Bennett. Zach Baughn's hurt. He's got a brace on his knee. Campbell's hurt. He's got a triceps issue. Adoree Jackson, we talked about, has got a groin issue. I mean, it's kind of piling up.
Is
early in
Jordan
the season.
Davis injured? No. And he's been the defensive player of the year so far.
Well, special team of the week. Teamer of the week.
He's been
you're right.
unbelievable. We talked about him a ton on our squad shows through the summer when nothing was happening. Where's this guy going? He's got a chance to make a lot of money. He has answered the call, man.
Yeah.
He's been for week one. He's got to play more because of the incident, the spitting incident.
Yeah.
Then boom. I mean, and he was monstrous last week, not only in special teams, but in defensive
He's going to
coverage.
be glad that he lost 26 pounds when he gets out in that heat, 88 degrees and humidity at 1 o'clock in Tampa on Sunday.
Is that what it's going to be on Sunday?
It's going to be 88. Yeah.
Wow.
I saw it feels like 103 or something like that.
Is that right?
Humidity or something.
Yeah, I didn't see the feels like, but yeah.
The feels
when it's like that,
temperature.
when you have glasses like Harry and I are wearing, you walk outside and they just fog.
They fog up. Yeah.
You're like,
you get out of your car with the air conditioner and they fog up.
Yeah, your glasses.
Yeah,
they look
it's
frosty
terrible.
all of a sudden. You can't see anything.
By the way, I got to speak up for our boy Jordan Davis here. I got to speak up for him because I feel bad for the dude. Okay, this guy loses 26 pounds in the offseason. He falls in love with Peloton, the whole thing, right? And what happens? What's the first thing you see after he returns a blocked field goal for a touchdown?
Peloton ad.
Fattest guy ever returns a touchdown. Did you see those memes?
No, I didn't see
it. Was like it was the thick six, fattest guy ever to return.
Well, the thick six is kind of good. I like that. That's funny.
I like that too.
Fattest?
Yeah.
But it was like fattest. One of them was fattest. The other was biggest. I think they're like, okay, we don't want to call him fat. And I'm like, this guy just lost 26 pounds. Everyone's concentrating on how fat he is.
Yeah.
Anybody else loses 26 pounds? You look great.
At
He's like, I was fatter last year.
Yeah, and guess what? They're not running 18.58 miles per hour either. You know what I'm saying?
If he had those extra 26 pounds, I bet he gets caught and I win my bet.
I don't think he needed to get caught. I think he just would have fell down. Jeez.
I like that.
They're fat shaming the guy. The guy's like, you know what's going to be fat?
That's
you know what he
awful.
said? We know what's going to be
Yeah,
fat? My wallet.
Exactly.
Fat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, boy.
Unreal. Fat shaming a guy after scoring a touchdown and blocking a game-winning field goal at that. What an
I won't
outrage.
stand for it.
It's an outrage.
But it looks like Godwin's going to play this week, and Wirfs might be playing this week.
I like Godwin. Godwin's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
All right. When we come back, let's get our predictions then when we come back then. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Back after this.
All right, it's Jason Patullo. Let me tell you about Wayfair. When you think of game day, you might not think of Wayfair. Maybe that's not the first thing that comes to mind, but you should, because Wayfair is the best kept secret for incredible and affordable game day finds. They have have you ever gone on Wayfair? They literally everything to get your space ready for the game, whether you want LED, whatever you want to do, it's there. Whether you're tailgating outdoors or cheering your team from your living room or your man cave or wherever you watch the games, you can get signs for the walls, pictures, lighting, you name it. You can really like kind of just take your area where you like to watch the game to the next level. You can get grills, coolers, recliners. I'm telling you, you go to game or Wayfair, you're going to find everything you need. You can level up your game day space by going to Wayfair. Again, it's not probably the first thing you think of. It's just that you're going to go down the hole and you're going to just make your game day watching experience better by going to Wayfair. Now, what I love most is this selection, unique finds and options for every budget. You don't have to break the bank, so you can show off your team spirit without overspending. That's the cool thing. You make your space look really cool. Matter of fact, that sign behind me back there, that in-studio sign from Wayfair. It's fantastic. Delivery is free, it's fast, and it's hassle-free, which is a lifesaver when you need something in time for kickoff. You decide you need something for the walls or need some lighting or whatever you need. Boom, you can have it in just a couple of days and ready to go for kickoff. For outdoor essentials like folding chairs, patio heaters, to indoor must-haves like TV stands, well, got to check out Wayfair. Wayfair has it all in one place. And here's the deal. Wayfair is your trusted destination for all things game day, from coolers to grills, recliners and slow cookers to get all your food ready. Shop, save, and score today at wayfair.com. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Where's this sign you're talking about? I didn't see it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we get.
It's right under the TV. You see that? Right under my finger. It's not lit up right now. That says it in studio. Here, I'll turn it on.
You got the stupid flyers thing lit up.
Let's see if we get. Oh, it is. Okay, it's going to be in the shot. This is good for the people on the podcast. Yeah. Jason is running out of his studio to turn on his on-air sign, and this is where we hope to God it works, so the people of Wayfair look amazing. There we go. There it is.
Yeah, and I turn off the flyers thing. That would be better.
I heard some flyers.
Yeah, turn that off.
Why am I not back on my camera?
I don't know.
Why are you not back on your camera?
You're not sitting in front of your microphone.
It lagged for a second.
There we
are.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I just blinked and appeared.
Jeez.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, boys.
Predictions?
What are we feeling? Here's what you got. Philadelphia Eagles going off at -3.5.
Yeah, they're favored by 3.5 on the
road
against the 3-0 team.
That's
against
the
3-0 team that they're supposed to suck against.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about
that? At the rate of the way this season is going, I'm going to say that Keely Ringo makes a pick six late in the game to win the game for the Eagles. Come from behind win. Luigi implode. Like he just, I don't know. Like he just
gonna be
can't
apoplectic.
get his breath to do the post-game show, and Jason and I are going to have to do it ourselves because he can't breathe with
He's
excitement.
hyperventilating, Harry. When we get him a brown
Yeah.
bag.
Yes, Eagles 23-20.
Wow. Okay.
Comeback
Hold on.
fashion again, Harry. 2 in a row.
Yes.
I gotta say, Harry, as a veteran broadcaster such as yourself, that is such a veteran move, man. Because what you have done is you have out optimistic the most optimistic person. So even if Ringo, like when he has a bad game, you get to come down even harder.
Exactly.
Oh my!
setup.
It's beautiful. It's the thing for all the kids. That's how it's done. That's
Harry's
the veteran
playing
move.
chess, not checkers.
Never.
Yeah, he's
Jason-
playing 2,000 ELO chess right now.
You want the next bite, Jason?
Yeah, I'll take the bite.
What do you got?
I don't think it's a come from behind fashion win. I think it's just
boy.
a straight up win. Remember all of the narratives around Tampa coming north and being below 30 degrees.
42
Rodney
degrees,
Barber.
I
Or,
think
no,
it
it
was.
was Atlanta coming north. Mike
No,
Vick.
it was Tampa.
Was it Tampa?
Yeah.
Well, it
It was-
was New Orleans Saints and Tampa, the Rodney Barber pick 6 game. Yeah, the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, they can't
could
play in the
never
cold.
win when it was below 32 degrees until they did and went to the Super Bowl. But one of our commenters nails it. Logan, Baker's the best QB against the blitz in the NFL. This is the week we don't see the blitz. This is Vic Fangio going back to not blitzing, therefore not giving Baker Mayfield that option, playing some press coverage, limiting him. They're going to get their points. They're going to get their 20 points, are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Eagles had that awakening last week. They go for 35. It's a rocking chair ride, and I think we see a home run. I don't know if it's a grand salami from Saquon Barkley this week, but we see a home run from him, like a 60-pluser for a touchdown.
Well,
So what do you got?
you went rocking chair ride like Mikey Miss.
I
That's
did.
an ode to Mike Missinelli right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's not like I'm making fun of him. It's
No, I said an ode.
It's
An
an
ode.
homage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
an
know,
ode. The ode to my family from the Cranberries.
So 35 point. What are the Bucks got? 35 to what?
20.
35 to 20.
Yeah.
You and I are in the same ballpark, my friend.
Yep.
I got the Eagles winning this one 31 to 20.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's where I
I
got
think
this
it's.
one.
I think it's hand. I think Tampa Bay's a little overrated, and if Evans doesn't play, I don't care if Godwin's back. He's a good player, but
Yeah, and
No.
just give me. I don't need blitzes, by the way. I don't need blitzes. I need press coverage. That's it. That's all I need. Just give me
not
some press
without
coverage.
not
That's it.
without Mike Evans. I don't need blitzes.
Yeah, exactly. Gentlemen, another fun-filled Eagles squad show. I know you guys will be hopping on here, of course, right after the game where the Eagles beat the Buccaneers this weekend and improved to 4-0 and drop another undefeated team to no longer be undefeated, just like
What
they did
time's the
against
game?
Rams.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock kickoff.
But
1 o'clock.
Another
I'll
one.
tell you what, if Keely Ringo does make a play like I said, Luigi is going to be insufferable. And rightly so. If I were him, I'd come down off the top rope with an elbow drop right at the start of the show.
A Jimmy Superfly snook off the top rope.
See that, but that's again the brilliance of your move, Harry. It's like, oh no, well, I expected this. I called it. I called it on the squad show.
And if he doesn't,
it's so
Harry,
beautiful.
You're going to destroy the young lad.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I mean, Harry, it's like watching another vet. It's like watching a guy on a 1-2 pitch just, sell out for a fastball and get it. Like he shouldn't have done that, but he did it and he hit a home run.
And if he doesn't, Harry, if he comes up small, he's going to be roadkill by the end of the post-game show.
No, I wouldn't.
Side of the road, mangled deer.
No. That's not.
Calling the game commission
That's
to
not
pick
how
up
I
Luigi.
roll.
That right there to my left on your screen there, that's Jason Martinez. To my right over there, that's Harry Mays, veteran broadcaster. My name is Marc Farzetta.
I'm old.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Eagles on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Louis DiBiase, our friend Locked On Luigi, as we like to refer to him, he has got you covered for your daily content. We got you covered here for your squad show. You guys got the postcast going on, obviously, this coming Sunday, following 1 o'clock kickoff.
You got Phil's?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it's 3:05 game.
How about them finishing off the year with the Twins? What
Horrible
Weird,
schedule.
What is
What's
that
the
about?
point?
Yeah.
Who
It
scheduled
really
that?
is.
Ray Charles?
Yes.
I gotta
What are we
be
doing?
honest with you. They called it because it doesn't matter against.
It
the Mets,
doesn't matter.
really.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter against the Braves. Certainly doesn't
Right.
matter really against the Marlins. They nailed it. They
Yeah.
nailed it. It's like they'll have it locked up by then. They'll be resting guys, whatever.
I haven't cared about the Twins since Kirby Puckett was alive.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, this Detroit Tigers collapse is unbelievable. And the Mets could miss the playoffs. Man, I want the Reds to get in the playoffs so bad, just so the Mets and their $340 million payroll can go to golf, play golf early.
Welcome to your Phillies postcast. Oh, sorry.
Wait, what's
What
just
are you
happened?
doing?
Oh, you're just
I turned it into a Phillies postcast real quick.
that's hilarious. For the people on the podcast, a little tactical glitch. Yeah, well, Harry, just on the Tigers right now, I'll just tell you about this. I married into a bunch of Cleveland fans.
Oh, did you?
So
they're
my
elated
father-in-law,
right now. Yeah.
Die hard
Yeah.
Cleveland guy.
There you go.
But yeah,
Good for
there we
Cleveland.
go. There we go. Good for them.
Yeah.
Pat on the head. Watch them win the World Series. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Mark Farzetta, Louis DiBiase's got you covered for everything else. We got to go back to this thing. Where is it? There it is. Was that? It didn't flip. Why is it not flipping? It's not flipping over now. It's still got the
What's
postcast.
flipping?
The outline thing.
Oh.
Whatever. These are all technical terms you need to concern yourself with, audience. Either way, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And why not? Go Birds.